Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different from all the other videos I've created. Today is going to be all about cash stuffing. Specifically, cash stuffing for beginners and how to start your cash envelope system. So if you're a beginner out there or you don't know exactly how to start, where to start, or what cash stuffing is, stick around and I may possibly have the answers to your questions. So a little bit of background before we start cash stuffing. I just want to give a disclaimer. I'm not an expert. I'm not a know-it-all. I'm just going to share with you guys how cash stuffing worked for me and how to start your own cash stuffing method the easiest way I know how. I started cash stuffing when I was 18 years old and I was just getting a paycheck, just starting to get paid. And I remember getting a bill that was my car registration bill. And I remember telling myself, or asking my mom, actually I asked her, does this bill come every year? And she says yes. And it was about like $300. And it was $300 that I didn't have. Thankfully, you know, they give you some time to pay it, but at the time I didn't have that money. I think it was a server at that time, and it was very hard for me to come up with $300. So I realized that this bill is going to come every year, and Christmas comes every year, and all these other bills come every year. I have to come up with some kind of plan to get that bill paid, so that way when it comes, I don't have to worry about it. I started putting money in an envelope that was titled car registration every month, so that way when that bill came around every year, it was already paid for. Lo and behold, what I was doing was cash stuffing, and I didn't know that it was called cash stuffing. I didn't even know it was a thing, you guys. And then I just started creating an envelope for every important event in my life, and that's kind of how I was born into the cash stuffing community, I guess. Again, not an expert, guys. I'm just gonna be sharing some tips and tricks with you on cash stuffing. If you're a beginner, maybe it'll help you. Or if you're just starting out, and I guess that's the same thing as a beginner. This is just my way of showing you guys how I started my journey, and maybe it'll help somebody out there too. It's gonna be a very, very long video. So if you're ready to hear me talk for the next hour, grab a coffee, grab a drink, grab a snack, grab a meal, grab whatever you're gonna grab, sit down, get comfortable, and let's get started. Chapter 1, what is cash stuffing? Cash stuffing basically is using cash to manage your money categories. Or you can think of it as like giving your money a job before it even hits your wallet, if that makes sense. Okay, so why it works for some people. Some people are more visual learners, some people are auditory learners, some people are hands-on learners, right? So with that being said, this cash stuffing is very visual, it's tangible, and there's no overspending once the cash is gone. Using the definition, giving your money a job before it hits your wallet, that cannot be more true, guys. It's very much that that's the whole definition right there. Instead of swiping your card kind of like at the store and hoping for the best, hoping that, you know, your card goes through, you're gonna actually pull out the cash and divide it into categories. Categories like groceries, gas, or car registration, treat yourself, stuff like that before it even goes into the actual wallet or the actual purse. The best part about cash stuffing, I mean, I guess some people call it the best part, some people dread this part, but once your cash is gone, it's gone. No overdraft fees, no, oh my God, I spent too much money on Starbucks this month. It keeps you accountable without needing a calculator in your back pocket. Chapter 2, what do you need to start? So here's the thing, guys. When you start your cash envelope system, you don't need to drop $100 on a fancy binder, custom envelopes. You don't have to do all that. Like, let's be real, no one's spending that kind of money on stuff like that until you get comfortable with the cash stuffing system. So all you really need are envelopes, a pen, your categories, and cash. That's all you need. 4 things to make this work. And you may need a shoebox, or if you have a drawer where you can put your envelopes in. That's literally all you need, guys. What was that, 5, 6 things maybe? That's it. You don't need all this fancy mumbo jumbo stuff. Just get some envelopes and a pen. You're good to go. And obviously your cash and a little storage box. That's it, guys. That's it. Moving on. Just kidding. That's it. Just kidding. Alrighty guys, so for some reason the audio does cut out right here, but what I'm going to go over in the next section is a couple of options for you guys to choose from when you're starting out your cash stuffing journey. So the first option I'm going to go into would be envelopes. So I don't have physical envelopes with me, but I'm going to pop them up on the screen here. So all you need is envelopes. Take the envelopes, you can write on them. Gas, groceries, Christmas, car expenses, all the categories that are important to you, write them down in the envelopes, and that's going to be your cash stuffing system. Option 2, Ziplock bags. So when I first started out, this is how I did mine. I got index cards and I opened my Ziplock baggies and I would put them in here. Eventually, I did move over to the actual envelopes, and then I found out what these were, and I found out what binders were, and it was a complete game changer for me. But this is how I started out. I started out with Ziplock bags with the money written on here. Again, I was 18 years old, guys. I didn't have a lot of money. So I just did what worked for me. And every time I got my paycheck, I just split it up into these categories. These are probably the cheapest compared to envelopes, but keep in mind with these you probably will need a binder. So these are very cheap, guys. These are, I don't know what, I'll put the price up here on Amazon. You can get these anywhere. Amazon, Etsy, my store, you can get them. I'll put them all on the screen. So now you have these. You're gonna take some index cards. Again, I don't have any index cards, but I made some. I just cut up pieces of paper. You don't even have to buy the index card, guys. If you have computer paper, this is just computer paper. It's so flimsy. Literally, this is it. All you have to do is write your categories on here. All right, guys, so I took about maybe like a minute or two to kind of write down my categories here. So these are just my categories. Everyone is different, guys. So I went with coffee, gas, groceries, books. I like to go in Barnes and Nobles. That's what that one is. Car expenses and Christmas. Basic, just basic stuff. The items that are important to you, those are gonna be your categories. You can take one of these guys, stick your little index card in here, just like that. And then you can start stuffing your little pouches. Isn't that cute? It's perfect. It's perfect for a beginner. If you're someone that just doesn't want to spend a bunch of money on custom envelopes, this is perfect until you do have the money for whatever you want to buy, you know? Now with this is perfect if you want to just keep in like a shoebox, or if you have a drawer that you want to keep it in, this is great. If you really do want one of these binders, or you want somewhere where you can store all your stuff, on Amazon, they have these really cute binders. I'll click them up here. They're basic A6 binders, guys. I also do sell them in my shop here, and they sell them on Etsy. So you definitely don't have to just buy them off my shop. I'm giving you a bunch of options where you can find these binders at. Now the binders that are on the screen, they're perfect for someone that's just starting out the cash stuffing system and wants to give it a try for themselves. Look, boom, perfect. And if you had all the other ones filled, like this would be car expenses. This is another expense, right? It would go right in there. Perfect. And then you would have your envelopes. So that's a perfect way to start out if you're someone that, again, that doesn't want to spend too much money, but you want to get into the cash stuffing field. That's a perfect way to start, guys. You know, if you want to even make an index card that says cash stuffing stuff, or if you have a certain store that you like on Etsy, you really like their stuff, you can write their name on here, like the actual store name, and you can save for your binder stuff. That's what I used to do. I think I wrote one. At the time, there weren't so many cash stuffing stores, so I just put Amazon, and then I would save for Amazon stuff because all the stuff I wanted was on Amazon. All right, now that we've got our fundamentals down on what you need to get started, we're gonna actually get started. So choosing your categories. So when you choose your categories, start small, okay? Think groceries, gas, eating out, maybe savings, you don't need 27 categories, okay? Start very, very small and then progress as you go further. Step 2, you're gonna decide how much goes in each category. Okay guys, so I'm gonna give you an example. Here is my paper and I've got my categories. So we've got gas, we'll put this over here. We've got gas, coffee. We'll go groceries. And I'm doing these by priority. So what means the most to me? Car expenses, maybe Christmas, coffee. And I know you can't see it, but books, I'll put coffee and books over here because these are more like, I guess, low priority. I guess. I'm just kidding. We're gonna go off of a, I don't know, maybe a $2,000 paycheck. Okay, and this is every 2 weeks. So let's say we get paid every 2 weeks. Okay, so we get paid every 2 weeks. Your paycheck comes out to $2,000. So when you're deciding on how much money that goes into each category, you have to also keep in consideration your actual bills. So stuff that doesn't get stuffed. Obviously, let's do rent, phone. I'm just gonna put miscellaneous. No, I'll just put other bills. Other bills, meaning like if you pay electric, gas, all that stuff separate. And then I'll just put miscellaneous here. So taking all of this out of your paycheck, let's just say, guys, these are fake numbers. Okay, I want a disclaimer. These are fake numbers. I'm just kind of spitballing here. So let's just say we take out $1,000 for rent, phone bills, miscellaneous, car bill, whatever it is. Let's just say half of our paycheck is gone because all of that is going to bills, right? So our remainder is 1,000 left, right? So now you're gonna start separating this $1,000 into these categories. So let's say for gas. So again, for gas, what I would recommend you guys do, and this is just personal preference, get the highest amount that you've ever had to fill your gas tank. So whether your gas tank is $80 at its highest, $100 at its highest, in my opinion, I think that's what everyone should be stuffing for gas.
That's my opinion!
The only reason why is because you don't ever know when gas is gonna go up, when it's gonna go down. And if you have leftover money, I'll show you what to do with that. Sorry, I totally forgot. So I'm gonna add 2 more envelopes. One is for savings. So we're gonna write down envelopes and we're gonna write down gas, right? So we're gonna subtract, let's just say gas. I'm gonna do what I budget for gas, and that's $160. So we have our calculator here. And yes, you're probably gonna need a calculator if you're bad at oh, because I am. So we did 2,000, oops, minus 1,000. And now for that 1,000, we're gonna subtract the 160. So now we're at 840. Groceries. So again, this is bi-weekly, guys. If you get paid weekly, you would be doing this per week. If you get paid monthly, you would be doing this per month. So groceries is different for everybody. I would sit down and write down your grocery budget and see how much per week is the average that you spend. Let's say we spend 200 a week. No, I'm sorry, 100 a week on groceries. And this is for one person, okay? Not a family, just one person. So if you have a family, or if you have a spouse, or you have a partner that you live with, so you would probably have to incorporate them if that's how you split your bills, okay? But so what I'm doing this for is one person that gets paid every 2 weeks. Let's just say this person spends 200 on groceries every 2 weeks, okay? So we're subtracting that 200, so now we have 640. So now these are gonna be kind of like low priority, kind of like if we have the money, we'll spend the money, right? But if we don't need to, we won't. So we have car expenses and Christmas. We put car expenses, we put $30 in there and $100 in there. So we're gonna subtract 130. So we have 510. From that 510, we have to budget for coffee and we have to budget for if I wanna buy a new book, right? Or instead of books, this can be like a treat yourself. All right, so for coffee, this person budgets $40, which is $20 a week. So we're gonna minus 40. And then for books, I'm minusing 20. So the remaining is gonna be 450. So again, guys, you don't have to stuff the whole 450. This is just what's remaining after coffee and books. If you wanna give yourself extra or you have another category you wanna put it into, that's just kind of how this would work. This is the remaining $1,000. So again, if you go to the grocery store, if you get gas, car expenses, Christmas, whatever you have in that envelope is all you use. You don't use anything else. You don't go to another envelope. You stop at the end of that. So let's say you go to the coffee shop and you realize your envelope only has $5 more in it, but your coffee is going to cost $6. Sorry, that means you don't get coffee that week. That's what staying disciplined is, and that's what, if you're budgeting, that's the cash stuffing method. That's literally how you know you won't spend over for coffee. I hope that helps, guys. So now that we have our entire budget out, right? We are going to stuff our envelopes now. Alrighty guys, now that we've gone through our paycheck breakdown, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna get into the little bit of a complicated part. After you've done this part, you're gonna have to go to the bank and pull this money out. Side note, I'm so sorry. There is a lawnmower going on outside. It's gonna cause a little bit of noise. So I'm gonna try to edit the video to get rid of that lawnmower. But if I can't, I'm so sorry. But we're gonna just continue with the video. So I'm going to show you guys a way that is a little long, and you might have to print out the pages yourself or order some pages, but it is going to help you with your cash stuffing journey. So this is called a cash planning sheet. This is something that's kind of crucial when you're working with starting your own cash stuffing journey, only because it's easier for you to break down your denominations like this. You can get these on my website or on Etsy, or if you wanted to just maybe take a screenshot, then you can make your own on Canva if it's easier for you. But I'm gonna quickly run down how to use this and how it's crucial for working with cash stuffing. So I'm gonna go ahead and run through these categories on my cash planning sheet. So enjoy the music. All right, guys, so I went ahead and filled in the category and the amount. If you can see there, perfect. And our total, it was right down here. So my next step is to break down these amounts one by one on how exactly I would like to cash stuff them. For the gas station, if you like paying in 20s, pull out all 20s. If you like giving $100, a 50 and a 10, pull out 150 and a 10. For groceries, if you just like going with 2 bills and you know for a fact you're gonna spend the whole $100, you don't need change, pull out 200s. So we're gonna make it super easy. I'm gonna fill these out really quick and then we'll come back. I broke down each category so that way I get the denominations or the bills the way I like them from the bank. So we're gonna come down here to the total quantity and amount. So the quantity means you're gonna add up all these numbers, 1, 2, 1, 4. You're gonna bring that down to quantity, and then you're gonna calculate the total amount. So let's do that step by step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8. Just like that. So all this paper is saying that I'm gonna want 800s. I'm gonna want 2 50s, 4 20s, and 2 10s. And this amount should equal to 1,000. We're gonna write down what this adds up to. So 8 times 100 would be 800. And so on and so forth. So this is what the amounts look like. We have 800, 100, 80, and 20. So this should add up to 1,000. So we're gonna quickly do the math here just to double check ourselves. Yep, and it equals 1,000. That's how you know you're on the right track and you did your math correctly. Okay, so after we're done with the cash planning sheet, you can either write this down for the teller and let her know that, or let him know, I'm sorry, that you need 800s, 5010s. You can write that down on your hand, on your arm, on your phone, wherever you write stuff down. I am going to use a teller slip. This is an old version, but it still works the exact same. You can find these on my website, on Etsy. Any person that cash stuffs here on YouTube probably sells something similar. So what I'm gonna do is basically copy over the information from here to here. That way this goes to the bank teller. So I filled it in very quickly, but this is what it looks like, as you can see. It's just a quick teller slip. You can take this off. You can put this on your wallet. You can put this anywhere that you'd like, or that you're gonna remember it. I even have the reusable ones. This is something you can throw away, but I have a reusable one where you can wipe off and you can reuse it over and over if you don't care for the Post-it notes. But you're gonna need something like this if you want it to be easier for you in your life when you're cash stuffing. If you don't, you wanna write it on your hand, your leg, your arm, on your car, I don't care. Wherever you write it, just make your life easier. Write it down on a piece of paper so that way you can hand this to the teller and say, hey, this is what I want. These are the denominations I need. And then boom, you get your money. So now that we've done our cash planning, we've already gone to the bank. Now we've got our money. Perfect. In the perfect denominations, everything's the exact same. Now, to make your guys' life easier, if this is something that you want to save for or budget for, I would recommend something like this. It's a cash tray. All you have to do is, this is the fancy little gadget that all the cash stuffers have. It just separates your money. Oops. It separates your money. It makes it a lot easier to see. So that way when you're stuffing your envelopes, you can just pull the denominations you need, opposed to kind of like rummaging through your stuff. Before I had this though, all I would do is, I'll show you guys. I would put my money to the side, like so. So before all this fancy stuff, this is how I would, I know it's a little out of frame, but this is how I would organize my money. And I would have my envelopes on the other side. For the video's sake, what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to stuff 3 envelopes, and I'm sure you guys would kind of understand it by then. Gas, you can see here, is 160. I decided to go with 100, 50, and a 10. So that immediately is gonna go into one of my envelopes. I'm gonna use Ziplock baggies. Just like that. Yes. And there we go. That's one envelope stuffed. The second one is groceries. So I decided to do 200s for groceries. Oops. See, that is my grocery money. And then car expenses, I decided to do 30. So we did 30 for car expenses. So that way, if I ever need an oil change, I get a flat tire, I need new windshield wipers, I need something for my car, boom. We now have car expenses. And so on and so forth, guys. So now our money is cash stuffed, put to the side, ready for use. That's basically how you cash stuff, guys. Now this can go again in a shoebox, in a drawer, in your purse. That way you have them ready to go, and you know, they're just super easy to pick from. With all this being said, you're gonna have to track it weekly. So going back to our little budget breakdown, let's say your check is smaller than this or it's bigger than this. These amounts will change, you guys. It's not the same every single time you get paid. It's always, always different. So you're just gonna have to kind of track and adjust, shift more for gas, shift less for gas, more for groceries, less for groceries. Or let's say you wanna put more in your savings. So you're gonna take out coffee and books and you're just gonna suffer for 2 weeks without coffee and books, so that way you can put more in your savings. You know what I mean? It's all up to you and what your paycheck looks like that paycheck or that month or that week or whatever it is whenever you get paid. So these adjust. All right, so now that we've got that taken care of, we're gonna roll into our next chapter, which is mistakes to avoid. First mistake, making too many categories right away. You guys, slow it down. Bring it back a little bit. Bring it back. I would only recommend stuffing maybe to start out 5 to 6 envelopes, and maybe even less than that. So you definitely don't need 20, 30 different envelopes right away. You don't need that much, guys. Start small. Start small. Don't overwhelm yourself, because I guarantee you, if you go crazy and you start stuffing, or you make like 20 envelopes, you're going to get so overwhelmed so quickly, and you're not going to have any money in the beginning. I feel like in the beginning, when you have, let's say, maybe 6 envelopes or maybe even 4 envelopes, you're more likely to create new envelopes and adjust as your life adjusts. You know, your life never stops moving, guys. So just go slow, start slow, and don't overwhelm yourself. Second mistake is being unrealistic. Let's be real, guys. When you start cash stuffing, be real about you and be real about your expenses. If you know gas costs around $80, don't put $20 in this bag. Don't put $40 when you know you need about $80. It's only hurting you and it's hurting your savings, you know? Or if you know you're gonna spend a little bit more than groceries, just be realistic, you know what I mean? If you need, and it's only because, let's say you don't wanna put $80 in gas because you want $40 in coffee, but you need gas to get to coffee. You know what I mean? So be realistic about you and how much money you're putting into each envelope, because then you're just gonna stress yourself out, and you're just gonna be like, well, I don't have money for that. Anyway, how's the cash stuffing system gonna work for me when you're not even being real about it in the first place? If you're not realistic about your envelopes, or you're not realistic about the amount that you put in your envelopes, you're gonna be the one saying, oh, this system doesn't work for me, and this system doesn't help me anyway, it's complete BS and blah, blah, blah. When you're not doing it correctly in the first place, and you're not being real about your expenses and how much you want to save and what you want to put aside, and because you want to save for coffee, or you want to save for treat myself, or whatever it is, when your bills are the ones that need to get paid first, you know? You need to be real about it before you even get into cash stuffing. It's hard, guys. Don't get me wrong. It's freaking hard, but gotta do it. Third mistake, forgetting your envelopes at home. This was my biggest mistake. When I first started cash stuffing, I would empty out my paycheck on my envelopes, and then I would forget them at home. I'd be at Target, or I'd be at the gas station with my envelopes full of money, chilling at home. So in order to not do that, guys, take them with you. Put this into the side pocket of your purse. Take them with you. Now, if you wanted to get a little like fancy schmancy, I would invest in wallets. They sell wallets everywhere. They're not like binders. So this is typically what a binder looks like. These are kind of the same, but it's a little smaller, like when you look at it. They're very useful when it comes to traveling with your envelopes. Now, A6 wallets are for the people that like A6 envelopes. So if you're someone that likes the A6s, this one's gonna be for you. These are longer envelopes. They look they fit your money perfectly flat like this. Mind you, if you do invest in a wallet like this, you are gonna invest in some kind of envelopes, or you're gonna end up investing in some of these guys, because these guys fit in here too. So what you would do, if let's say you had an A6 wallet, you can take your money out of your Ziplock baggies. We're gonna move it over to a new and improved Ziplock. Oh, I'm sorry, not a Ziplock, an A6 pocket, just like that. And that's gonna be your envelope. And you can have a bunch of envelopes in there, guys. And that's literally it. This is gonna be your A6 wallet. Now, if you are someone that wants something more compact and you don't really care for the A6s, there are A7s out there. So A7s are a bit smaller. It's probably one of my favorites. So this is what the A7s look like. They are a lot more petite. So what you would have to do is take your money, and you would probably have to fold it and put it in here. Just like that. And that's what that would look like. Now, if you wanted to save for these envelopes, because guys, they can get a little pricey no matter where you buy them from, you can also purchase A7 little pockets. These are so cute. They're the exact same thing as the A6s that I just showed you. So what you would do with this, guys, I punctured the hole so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Open that up, put it in your wallet. You'd have to make a little note, or you can just cut these out with regular computer paper or just any kind of paper. I just wrote groceries on there, and I have my grocery money. And what's cool about this is, let's say you have any change or anything like that, just pop your coins in there, and there you go. Perfect, and they fit. So you can choose between the A6 or the wallet size. It's completely up to you. If this is the route you're going, if you are someone that continuously forgets your little baggies at home, this is something that I would recommend investing in, is maybe a wallet that you can take with you, depending on the size that you like. Whenever I go to like a theme park or I'm running errands or something, I tend to go for this one if I'm taking my smaller bag. If I have my bigger bag, I love my A6. So I'm kind of like a both girly. I don't really have a kind of like a preference, if I'm honest. I use one more than the other some weeks, and some I don't. There's different versions of this on Etsy, guys. I think that's mainly where I see them at. You just gotta type in cash stuffing envelope wallet. So that's another option if you're someone that keeps forgetting your envelopes at home. Mistake number 5 is thinking that you have to have a full setup to start with, when literally, you guys, all you need is envelopes, Ziplock bags, and you need something to label it with. You don't even need the little labels, just write on the bag. Like if you were to take this and just write Christmas, let it dry, give it a second, you'll be able to put your money in there. And that's it. If that's how you're starting your cash stuffing journey, there is absolutely nothing wrong with this. This is how I started. I mean, I put the little paper inside, but this is exactly how I started, and I'll never forget where I started. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with this. Do not think that you need a whole fancy $40 binder to even start the cash stuffing journey. If you're really serious about saving money or budgeting for whatever you need to budget for, this is how you start. And no one needs to know but you. You know, if this is something maybe you're embarrassed of, or you know, you don't want to be seen carrying around Ziploc baggies, start an envelope for saving, for cash stuffing stuff. Find a store that you really like, put their name on there, and save money for it, guys. You got this. Any which way that you want to save money, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, you guys. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. And I believe that is it, guys. I know that was like a lengthy video, but if you followed all these steps and you wrote stuff down, or you've already got your Ziplocs ready, just started your first cash stuffing system. Yay! Now that you've set up your cash stuffing system, there's 2 ways that you can use cash stuffing. One is for saving, and one is for budgeting. Now I'm gonna break that down in my next video, so if you'd like to check out that video, you can check that out after this to see which one you fall into. But don't forget to subscribe. Let me know in the comments what is the first category you guys are gonna stuff, or what system do you guys use? Do you use the envelopes, the Ziplocs? Do you have a binder? Are you gonna get a binder? Are you gonna stuff your first paycheck? When are you gonna start your cash stuffing journey? Let me know, guys. Comment down below. Thank you so much if you made it to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. I hope this helped a few people. If I rambled on for way too long, I'm so sorry. I don't really make videos like this where I talk too much, and I know this one wasn't really funny. I didn't really make funny. I think I was more focused on trying to get the points across. Thank you guys for joining me, and I really appreciate you guys if you made it to the end of the video. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys. Q&As. I got these questions off of Instagram, TikTok, Google. I just put a bunch of questions together. I think I have like 7 questions on here. They may be questions I've already answered. We're gonna go through them again. Feel free to click off at this point. All right, but I'm gonna be a little bit more real in these questions in the video. I felt like I was holding my breath the whole time. All right, first question. Do I need a binder to start? No. You don't need a binder. You just need envelopes, sticky notes, Ziplocs, anything you can put a label on, and you can store it in a safe place, either in your bag, in a drawer, in a box. I think when I was 18, I used to use the shoe box, and I just kind of like left it there. Eventually, I got rid of the shoe box and I put it in a drawer, and then I started carrying them around with me. You just gotta stick with the basics, guys. The basics are the basics. Start with something you can label. That's it. And you can even use, oh, one of those accordion. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, one of those accordion things from Walmart or Amazon. You can kind of just label them if you want to just put your money in there. That is a really good idea. Question 2, how much should I stuff per category? I feel like stuff as much as you can without screwing yourself over. Seriously, even $5, $20. When it comes to savings, it really adds up, you guys. Don't get stuck thinking that you have to put hundreds in right away. Start small, stay consistent, and your little stack will turn into a huge stack eventually. I promise. It's the quesadilla will turn into a hamburger real quick. I promise. Just start small. Do not start with hundreds thinking you have to put your whole paycheck in. No, no, no. We're putting in maybe 5% of the paycheck. Maybe. What if I don't use cash a lot? That's a great question. So if you don't use cash a lot, it's fine. Just pull out what you normally overspend on if it makes it simple for you. So let's give an example like Target. If you're one of those people, okay, or Disney, that's a big one. If you're one of those people that goes into Target for toothpaste and comes out with a $300 card, bitch, you need an envelope. Like, let's be real, envelope therapy, girl. You need an envelope. Take your envelope that has $50 in it. That way you walk into Target or just go to the bank and pull out $50 and say to yourself, this is all I'm going to spend on Target or Disney. And you walk in and grab what you need. If you have a cart that goes over $50, put it back or stuff more into the envelope. So if that's like your priority, if that's where you get groceries or whatever it is, or if you just know you have a Target problem, and this goes for any store, it's not just Target. Sorry, I don't mean to shame Target. It's just a lot of people spend money there, including me. And you walk in for one thing and you come out with the whole cart, and it's like either you rack up a credit card, you use money that you don't have, or you use money that you do have but wasn't intended for Target. So don't use cash a lot, but you want to start your cash stuffing journey. Unfortunately, I feel like you're gonna have to use cash, or unless you have like multiple bank accounts that you can kind of separate, that's cool too. But what I would recommend is pulling out the cash and taking it to the store. That way you physically see you only have $50 or $20, whatever it is, to spend in that store, and that's it. I hope that kind of like makes, I know you don't want to be like a 90-year-old carrying all this cash around, but I mean, it's kind of the whole point of the cash stuffing system. Can I use cash stuffing if I get paid bi-weekly or monthly? Absolutely. You can cash stuff whenever you get paid. Whenever you get any kind of money, cash stuff. Before you use it on yourself, before you put it in your wallet, in your bank account, pull it out, cash stuff your envelopes. Cash doesn't care as long as you're consistent. Like, consistency is what matters. You can stuff whenever you get paid, or even if you have like 3 jobs, whenever you get some kind of source of money, stuff your envelopes. It does not matter when you get paid. What do I do with the leftover cash at the end of the week? I love having leftover cash. It's like girl math. Like, or it's like when you open up the bag of like Jack in the Box that you just found. Oh my God, like you found it on the street. You open up the bag of Jack in the Box that you just bought and you see fries at the bottom of the bag, but the fries aren't your fries. They're like your friend's fries, but it's the fries that fell out and they're the ones at the bottom of the bag. That's like free fries for you, like you don't have to give them to her. I'm sure she doesn't want them, but you still get to eat fries. Like, that's what leftover money feels like to me. It's like, oh my God, I get free money. So let's say you stuff $80 for gas every week, right? You only spend $40 because your tank wasn't too bad and now you have a full tank. Well, that extra $40 that's remaining, you can put that to wherever you want. You can start a savings challenge, which is very popular among the cash stuffing community. I love saving challenges, they're great. You can put that towards debt. You can put that towards savings. I don't know, you can go to Target and spend more money. Like, I genuinely I love it. I love having extra cash left over, which is why in my previous video I mentioned I never get gas when it's underneath the fourth quarter or the fourth quarter, just because I always have leftover gas money and I love it. I always put it towards my savings challenges or my debt. It just helps out so much. So to answer your guys' question, it's your money, babe. You do whatever you want with it. Whatever is left over, whatever your heart is telling you. If you want to get $40 worth of coffee, get $40 worth of coffee. Like, it's your money, but it's your money that you saved. You know what I mean? That's the whole point, is that you saved it. So it's practically free. So do what you want with it. Girl math. Isn't carrying cash unsafe? Well, yeah, if you're walking around like a human ATM, of course. So what I would do is I would keep what you need for the week in your wallet and leave the rest safe at home. If that's what you're concerned about, you don't want to be carrying too much cash. Be smart about it. Don't go around flaunting it. But I would recommend you can get maybe a wallet like this, it'll secure, and only use the envelopes that you need in here. For example, when I take my wallet out, the only envelopes I have in here are my gas envelope, spending, and then I have a little bit of money of just in case, and my receipts and the money I have to deposit back into my accounts. This is all I have. Everything else I have are in these binders that I keep at home. So if I ever needed to go to Costco, Walmart, Target, I would pull the envelope out, put the envelope in my wallet, and then put the envelope back in my book when I get home. So I'm only taking what I need. I don't carry my bajillions of envelopes with me all the time. So I would say that system helps me out a lot. So I'm not walking around with wads of money. I just pull what I need. I wouldn't ever leave the house with, all those envelopes. What happens if I use my debit card for most of my charges? How do I pay myself back? Oh, so you cheated. That's cute. Just kidding. I do that too. So here's what happens. When you take your debit card and let's say you forget your envelopes at home, or you decide that, for some reason you just don't want to use your envelopes that day. Take one credit card, use one credit card or one debit card for all of your transactions, whether it's gas, you go to Target, you go to Costco, blah, 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 blah. And make sure you're either writing them down or you take a screenshot of your bank account transaction, right? Some people, it's so cute in their wallets. I don't necessarily have this on my shop, which I should, but I don't really, I use my envelopes for mainly everything. But a lot of people have, it's kind of like a tracker. I'll put it up on the screen. It's a tracker where you can track your expenses and you can put that in your wallet. I think that is so cute if you're someone that uses your debit card and you use multiple transactions, and you can write those down. And when you get home, all you got to do is pay yourself back. So it's basically like you owe your binder or you owe your debit card rent money now. So if you spend $40 on gas, $50 at Target, let's say it's for home stuff or personal stuff or just personal spending, right? You're gonna have to go into your binder, pull out $40 from gas, pull out, I don't know how much I said, $60 from your spending, from your treat yourself, from your home envelope or whatever it is you spent at Target for. And you're gonna have to take that money and deposit it back into your bank account. So you're like grounding yourself, you know what I mean? No double dipping, bitches, no double dipping. And that's all I have for you guys today. I think that's all the Q&As I kind of found. I couldn't find any other, questions that in regards to cash stuffing. If you guys have any additional questions, please feel free to ask them down below in the comments. I will try my best to get to all of them. And I just don't like typing too much. Or if you want to send me a DM on Instagram, we could definitely talk there. That way I can type my little heart out. But yeah, leave me a comment down below if you have any other questions. But thank you guys for sticking to the end of the video. I know I already said that, but we're here. This is just me being a little bit more free. I was holding my breath the whole other video. I was so nervous. But thank you for sticking around to the end of the video, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys. Sorry, I'm nervous. I don't know why I'm nervous. All right, Nadine, focus. You got this. Breathe. Here we go. This is the middle. Video 1, we got this. Woo! Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Oh, my retainers, oh my God. Do it again, Nate, you got this. Or maybe I should put a black one here. Ooh, different vibe, yes. Hi everyone, welcome back to another cash stuffing. It's not cash stuffing video, Nadine. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. No, thank you for joining me for another video. Oh my gosh. Nadine, come on. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and thank you for joining me for another video. Today's video, no, it sounds too like robotic, huh? Okay. I'm gonna run through a couple of options with you guys, so that way you can choose to start, sorry. So I'm gonna run through a couple of options with you guys to give you an option, I'm gonna go through a couple of categories, So I'm going to go through a couple of options with you guys. So that way it gives you guys options on when or how to, Nadine. So this is called a cash, oh my God. Any person that stuffs Sorry, set stuffs. Ah, my plant's not cooperating with me today, guys. Got scared. Ow. It won't come off. Oh my god. You guys know that feeling of trying to take off a ring? It's fucking scary. Like, and it doesn't come off. Get my mini pumpkin. I got this at Target.